Am I missing something? Why is everyone surprised that the OKC Thunder are a very competitive team? I know they're young. I know they're rebuilding. I know some people thought they were going to go 0-82 or 1-81. Oh my God, they're just going to be the worst team in NBA history. No. I know they did lose to the Houston Rockets, and not just lose, they got blown out by the Houston Rockets in Game 2, and after that, people were suggesting this team was just beyond repair for this season. They were going to be absolutely terrible. Well, since then, they've been 6-6. Since then, they're 6-8 on the season, and over their last 10 games, they're 6-4. So it's safe to say the Thunder are not terrible, they're competitive, and they're doing so the right way. That's what I want to talk about, because it's one thing to win some games as a young team. It's another thing to do it while developing the players you want to develop and while playing the style you want to play. Because at the end of the day, the Thunder have been competitive. They're going to continue to be competitive, but if you're worried about them not getting a top pick, I'd still suggest they're going to be towards the bottom of the league. That doesn't mean they won't be competitive and steal some games from teams like the Lakers. Maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe they'll be a play-in team, but I don't expect that. But what I do expect is competitive basketball from them every single night. And when they do win games, it's going to be down to Lou Dort dropping 34 points. It's going to be down to SGA dropping 30 points in logo threes against the Lakers, or Josh Giddey. That's what it's going to come down to, rather than some veteran guy like, I guess, Al Horford last season. If we look back at last season, where this is why I'm not surprised, they did this last season. The team wasn't exactly the same, but they overperformed again prior to SGA getting injured. And that was the key. SGA was in the lineup. You had Lou Dort. You had a similar core intact with the same head coach. And the team was doing the same thing they're doing this season, which is why you shouldn't be surprised. The OKC Thunder are going to be competitive. They're going to win some games. And they're developing their team in a very nice fashion right now. Now, before I get into that, drop a like on the video. That would be much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, or if you haven't subscribed. It helps out a ton. That would be cool. But let's talk about this. I know there are some people of the belief that you should lose every single game and get a top pick, but with the system now, that does not guarantee anything. Nothing is guaranteed, even if you have the worst record in league history, like one team is on track to doing. Would you want to be a Houston fan right now or an OKC fan? That's all I'm saying. The reality is you've still got a high chance at getting a top pick. You've still got a high chance at getting numerous top picks because you've got about 3,000 of them in the vault, and you can always trade up at one point when you really love a prospect. There's always that. So the Thunder are still in a good position. But would you rather be getting competitive wins into Josh Giddey and SGA and Lou Dort and Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, or getting blown out every single night? And I'm not trying to throw shade at Houston. That's just the example right now. Because they're 1-14 or whatever it is, it's ridiculous. OKC, on the other hand, are still developing their players while being competitive. And let's talk about it. I want to start with the best Canadian on the team. I'm joking. SGA is great. He's going to be an all-star. He was already at an all-star level last season. It's a joke. He's just facing a lot of defensive attention, which I'll talk about. But over the last 5 games, the best Canadian has been Lou Dort. It just has been, because he's been fantastic in this stretch. Defensively, we already know what he was. We already know what he is. I don't even really need to explain it to you. The man is an all-defense kind of guy. He's versatile. He's switchable. He plays with energy. He plays with a physical skill set that is unlike a lot of people, given his size and his ability to go up against multiple guys. That's all there. Everyone knows that. But offensively, he's starting to grow, and if he continues to show what he's shown, he's not playing Houston every night, so he's not going to put up 34 points and blow past defenders like they're not even there. That's not going to happen. But what is going to happen is he's going to consistently get towards 20 points, because over the last 5 games, Lou Dort is averaging nearly 25 points a game. Over the last 5 games, Lou Dort is nearly a top 10 scorer in the NBA. That's not words I would have thought I'd say. Those are not words I would have thought I'd say, but I'm saying them, and he's doing this on one of the craziest contracts I've ever seen, and I've never felt sorry for a professional athlete, a professional NBA player, particularly, signing a contract, because there's a lot of money in those contracts, and $5 million over 4 years is still some good money. But Lou Dort, how? Why? When? I don't know why he signed that contract. Even at the time, I thought it was about $10 to $15 million under, and I think that was being conservative just based off his defense. Based off his defense, we've seen people get signed for a lot more, and he's improving offensive ability that he was showing at the time. But it's a steal nonetheless. He'll get his money. It'll happen, but yeah. That is just highway robbery by Sam Presti. He does it again. It's ridiculous. But he's not getting paid much but he will get paid a lot. And if he continues to do what he's doing, which is just really improving his finishing at the rim, he's really using his strength, his size, his speed to get past defenders, put his body into them, and finish, which he did a lot of last year. He showed off the flashes in terms of his handle improved, his ability to make reads and finish at the rim. There were improvements, but he just wasn't as consistent with it as he's been over the last handful of games, because he's just finishing at the rim with more touch, with more skill, with more finesse. That's what it comes down to at the end of the day. The handle's there, the reading of the game and his offensive ability is there. Obviously, Shai getting a little bit more defensive attention does help out Lou as well. And also, his three-point shot really opens up the floor for himself and just adds some points to the tally as well. It helps when he's knocking down 2 or 3 threes a night. Those have been the major difference. If you're an analytics guy, you're liking what you're seeing from Lou Dort, and the numbers are backing it up because he's attacking the rim a lot and he's shooting threes. You love it. You love to see it, and he's doing that a lot. So he's been really nice offensively, and defensively, he does what he always does, which is just go out there, clamp plays. De'Aaron Fox tried him on that last possession, and no one will try him again on last possessions because we see what Lou Dort does. But I mentioned it before, the other Canadian on the team, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he has struggled a little bit. It's still saying something. He's still putting up 21, 5 and 5 as a 23-year-old on a rebuilding team with not a ton of spacing. So he's still putting up decent numbers. His efficiency has taken a dip. His three-point shooting has taken a dip. Teams are really just loading up against him. That's what it comes down to. He's struggling with some of those coverages where they're double teaming him. They're throwing different bodies at him. They're throwing just the best defensive assignment. And it's not only just the best defensive assignment, but the best defensive coverages, which goes to show that he's the real deal. Teams are really throwing everything at him because they've seen what he did against the Lakers when the Lakers didn't want to defend him the way teams have defended him. He cooked them. And he won the Thunder pretty much single-handedly a couple of games, which he's going to continue to do for years to come. But so far, he's just in a little bit of a slump because he's facing not only good defensive coverages, but some good defensive teams recently. But that's fine. I don't have any problems or any concerns over SGA. He'll be good. He'll be fine. Even a game like today where he put up 15, 9 and 7 or whatever it was, he had an impact on the defensive end of the floor, which he'll continue to do, and he has continued to do so. He does that as well. I'm not really concerned. SGA he's a star. He's already one of the best young players in the league, and he's going through like a little bit of a temporary slump in terms of shooting and finishing, but he still provides defense. He still provides playmaking, and he still takes away multiple defenders most of the time because they're all keyed in on him, which allows guys like Lou or Josh Giddey tonight or Jeremiah Robinson-Earl, who's been fantastic. May as well transition into those two rookies because they've probably been the most impressive and the most consistent of the Thunder rookies. Trey Mann has had some good minutes. Aaron Wiggins. There's been some other impressive guys, but I've liked these two. I've actually liked their combination work as well. You see the pick and pop with JRE and Josh Giddey, and that's really nice for Josh Giddey, someone who hasn't really found his three-point shot or just his shot inside really that well. To have someone like JRE that can stretch the floor for everyone, Lou Dort for SGA, all of these guys can do with a little bit of extra spacing, and to have JRE playing that small ball center has been really effective. So he's been one of those guys that comes in as a rookie and impacts the game. Is that surprising? No, because there's one reason it's not surprising. He's from Villanova. I don't watch a ton of college basketball, but I do know one thing. Whenever someone comes in from Villanova as a mature age guy, I know he's going to be good. So I already knew he was going to be good. Sadiq Bey, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson. The list goes on and on. There's a ton of other guys, but he just add him to the list because JRE has been really nice defensively. He's spacing the floor. He's rolling. He's finding some of those Giddey passes that one Giddey made. Oh, the whip pass. Yeah, you see it. You see it. That man's got insane vision. And Josh Giddey might not have his game rounded out to the levels of Cade Cunningham or other guys, and he might not be putting up 15 to 20 points a night. But what he is doing is he's filling up the stat sheet, averaging nearly 10, 7, and 6, which is impressive. He's showing the flashes of the elite vision. It's not just good passing. It is elite vision that he shows on a pretty much consistent nightly basis. So it's one thing to, he made one good pass. No, he makes a good pass every single night, multiple good passes every single night. So you've got that. You've got that. If his three-point shooting can come along, which is a big if, but he is 6'9", so when he puts on more strength as well, he'll be able to finish at the rim. You're seeing it with all these rookies, even Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, these guys that were top picks. They're also struggling finishing at the rim and struggling with the NBA physicality as well at times. So Josh Giddey is not alone. He'll get better at that. He'll get better shooting the ball. I expect that, but his passing some of that stuff can't be taught. So you've got that for the long run. And if you pair him with a guy like JRE that can stretch the floor, and SGA that is obviously going to provide playmaking and shooting, I'm pretty comfortable in saying Josh Giddey will work out just fine. He's been really good. Some other guys to note, I said Trey Man, I said Wiggins. Poku, do you want to hear about Poku? I think Poku is just, they're still trying to get him to a level where he is, unlike someone like Josh Giddey, who I think is normally making the right impact most of the time in the right places, doing the right things. Poku sometimes, they're trying to get him up to speed, basically. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. They're trying to get Pokuševski to a level where he's consistently making a solid impact. And I think he's getting better. We've seen it in glimpses, but he's not, unfortunately, going to be able to run the floor like he did last season when SGA was injured and when they didn't have all of these guys on the floor. Maybe later in the season, we'll see a chance to see Point Poku and Poku play 35 minutes a night. Maybe. But as of right now, he's still in year 2 and he's still a project player. So as long as he's still getting 20 minutes a night and making an impact and not looking lost out there, which he hasn't really, that's kind of all you can ask, I think. I don't think you can expect Poku to handle the ball 30 times a night. It would be fun, it would be cool, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But anyways, in general, the Thunder, Mark Daigneault is younger than LeBron James. Why is that relevant? Well, he's their head coach, and he's young, and he's doing a good job, and this whole team is young. Sam Presti is a wizard / a psychopath / both of those things, so there's some good things going on in OKC. There's nothing wrong with winning a few games. There's nothing surprising with winning a few games because they should be good. They've got some good players, not good, but they should be competitive. They've got some good players. They're going to continue to steal some games from some other teams that don't expect it, and I'm going to continue to see them do it. So shout out to the Thunder. Josh Giddey is the GOAT, of course. Have a good day.